Hi, this is Tuck. Just going to give you an update of my Dragunity deck. Not going to talk about the combos so much, but more about what the deck's about, why I run the number of cards, of number of copies of the cards that I've got, and so forth. Anyway, so Wing Beast, you have triple ducks, obviously. Start off with, you've only got 3. You need to protect them, and this deck is about protecting the field. It's the way I'm running it. And double Legionnaire. I'm running 2 once again to protect the ducks, because ducks gets hate. Dragoons get to 8 easy, and ducks is the key. He's the whole key to the deck, and he gets the hate. He gets all of it. So double Legionnaire, 2 reasons. If you get that hands where you've got, the back row that you want, you're going to pitch Legionnaire. So all of a sudden, if you run 1, you're pitching him, and you don't have that Atlas pop combo. You don't have the ability to go to that 5-star. You run that 2, opens it up again. And there'll be times in the duel where you may want to go to him twice. You may want to pop and sink. So look, even first turn, like I said, it's about protecting the ducks. You might go Ravine, drop your Phalanx, and go Legionnaire. And I say, well, why do that when you go Stardust? You go to Catasta, you're going to take the Veiler, because they're going to stop your Synchro. They're like, well, I don't like what you're doing. So you're going to take away either one of their Veilers, the Bottomless, if it hits like your Catasta, which is fine, like, because you don't want Catasta, you want your 8s. It's going to hit your Chains, your Veilers, your Bottomless, your Warnings, any of that back row stuff that you don't want. You're going to take out the Legionnaire, and then it's like, oh, you got one of them, well, I've got another. The plays, you still got that live play, and then you swing, and you find out if they've got the back row hate for attacking. And look, a lot of decks see Catasta, and they're like, I don't like that, and I want to get rid of it. So they usually stop you somewhere along the way, and then all of a sudden you've got 3 live ducks. So you can search them out, and it gives you like durability, like in a duel. So double Legionnaire, and once again, like, it's 5 targets for your Ravine, and the deck's based around Ravine. So 3 and 2. Here we have 3 and 1. 3 for consistency, 1 because broken pop and no one hits him. So 3 and 1. That's that. Sangin, he just makes the deck consistent. Look, it's not a very plus deck. The deck is based around getting a Tomb, because the Tomb is plus, which is Red Eyes, which is plus, and he's just another way that you can plus. And if you haven't got what you want, maybe you've got like your cards and cons or whatever, because I do have cards cons in here, and he just makes it so you have +1 and you draw, then your cards cons to cycle your deck, and by then you should be getting to what you get to. If you do add Sangin somehow and you set a monster, I've had people that don't attack him because they're like, well, it's Sangin, I don't want him to plus, I don't want him to have that engine power. So you go Sangin, then you got your Legionnaire, wherever he is, Legionnaire, summon, equip special, 8, and you add a ducks to your hand, or the Atlas to drop for Ravine to add your ducks, and you've set your graveyard up, and he is highly usable in this deck. It just breeds consistency. Like, double Veiler for hand trap. Once again, worst case scenario, Sangin can grab Veiler, but look, it's really, hand traps are cool. I like them, and Veiler's the best one. I do side like the Crow and the Maxi for if that's what you need. So it's easy side. But yeah, Veiler's just cool, and you can search them if that's really what you need. Zephyros, because he puts Dragoons on steroids and he opens up to a Tomb. and that's what this deck does. It goes to a tomb because a tomb's cool. He's broken. Yeah. Anyway, double Mistletoe. Once again, Mistletoe goes to a tomb, and a tomb is what you want. And dodges Veil if if that's what they're going to do to you. Generally, my rule is that if you can't use a card straight away, you can't run more than 2 because that will clog. So you can't run a third. I tried running 3 because it's so cool, but look, as much as I wanted to, it clogs because you can't always use him straight away. Consistency works with that Akos. Look, in the worst case scenario, you can get him back. You can't get him back. You can open that 8-star. Sorry, it's late. It's like 1 AM or something. Hope I don't work tomorrow. 2 red eyes. Once again, 3, you will find that it will clog. If you run 1 and you draw into it, and you're like, oh my god, I can't run my tomb combo. And that's like the whole plus of the deck. A tomb gets red eyes. Like, that's stupid. That's why a tomb is so broken, because he can fetch red eyes. You get red eyes to your hand in your first draw 5, draw 6, whatever, when in your opening hand, you're like, oh my god, my whole broken combo is dead. And you're like, yeah. He's not bad in your hands. If you don't want him in your hand, you pitch him for a Ravine, or your Monster Reborn if you want, like, whatever. But look, in that awful hand where you're like, I need to do something, my opponent has a monster, I'm going to die, like, you can always just go the tuner and special him out and then special one back. And hey, if you special a Phalanx, then you can go red eyes and an 8-star regardless. Like, so look, 2 is more consistent than 1 in my theory. It's because it keeps your plays live. Same thing with your Legionnaire. Like, if you pitch him, you don't want to kill your deck. There's a lot of combos in the deck. You don't want to kill it by drawing 1 or dropping 1. So 2 keeps the structure and the power in your deck. And red eyes is just +1 every single turn. So it's 2 is fantastic. 4 spells, obviously triple Ravine, because Ravine is cool and it gets you everything you want. So triple Terror to get Ravine, not clogging because Ravine drops Terror, which gets you what you want. Double cards of Const, because it just cycles your deck. And if you don't hit the Ravine, you still have that chance to draw and have some power. So yeah, good. Double Pot and Foolish. Once again, Ravine hits red eyes and Foolish can hit red eyes if you've got that Reborn. It's easy to use the Reborn. Obviously, next card in the deck. So yeah, red eyes are 2. We're past that. Pot of Duality. People don't like running Pot in Dragunities because they're like, well, you special summon, that's what the deck does. And I say, well, yes it does, but sometimes you don't have the ability to, because you haven't hit your Ravine, you haven't cycled into what you want, and you just can't, and you need something to get to. So Pot finds you a Ravine, or if you're drawing cards constants, Pot powers up your cards constants too. Because you draw that, you haven't got a tuner, so you use Pot. You go Pot into 3. You can either hit one of your 4 tuners, or you can hit one of your 6 Ravines, which means if you got the cards constants, you've looked at what you've drawn 6, used a Pot, and there's another 3. So like, you've looked at 9 cards in your deck, you're gonna hit one of those targets and it will start the engine going. Then your cards const to go wherever you want. Works with Legionnaire. Look, you go Legionnaire, you Pot of Duality, go Legionnaire, pop, and that's still a safe play. Like, Legionnaire has just been a 2 for 1. You've Pot of Duality, you added what you want, and you've set yourself up for the next turn. It's just so cool. Another argument to run pot. Pot is cool, and I'm going to protect it. If I ran this build when they're 120, I nearly would have spent 120 on 2 pots. Like I said, Ducks gets hate. He gets lots of hate. So if you go Ducks and they go Veiler, they go Bottomless, they go Chain, they go Warning, anything that hits the Ducks because they don't want to see the 8. You haven't special summoned, so you can pot. You're like, well, I've used my normal summon, can't do a whole lot. Pot Duality, great, I hit a, like, I don't know, I'm going to say Mirror Force because Mirror Force is cool. Also, you protect Ducks, and you've got your Tomb set up next turn because Ducks still on the field. 4-star, go crazy, and that's why I said what this deck is about. It's about going to the Tomb, which gets you your card count, which gets you win. It's just versatile, and the rest of the deck is about just protecting your field. So, look, that's what I'm running at the moment, and I find it very consistent. Duality into Sangan is epic. So, that's the first part of the spells. Monster Reborn goes without saying, and like I said, with Ravine and Red Eyes, it is, draw into Red Eyes, foolish. It is so easy to use and abuse. Like, it's really, really cool. Now, protecting the Ducks and getting to what you want. Obviously, Heavy Storm for the hate. Double MST for the hate. Like, you just get rid of that stuff. And it also protects Dragon Ravine. If they activate a field card, go MST, I still got mine. So, it nearly negates, and it protects your field again. Protects your field. And Double Lance. Any Dragoon deck should be running these 5 as stable. Because Lance protects the Ducks. If you get to where you want to, which is Stardust generally, as you open, protects your Stardust. And these 5 are just staple in the deck. So, yeah, fantastic. Trap cards only run 6. So I do side decrees, and it is easy to side in decrees because it's just like, well, I haven't got any traps. It doesn't really matter. And look, even if you do have decree, you can still use your traps. Just gotta be smart about it. A lot of this deck is about being smart. You've got to play into what is on the field. So if you're not a very smart player, don't play this deck. No offense, but you're not going to go too well. Mirror Force protects all your monsters, goes without saying. Double Warning, once again, protects the field. They can't get the normal off. If there's something that's going to beat over, then you just go Warning. You don't have to worry about it. That's fine. If Finish Chain is what floats your boat, throw it in instead of Warnings if you think it's too many life points. Look, it's really up to you. That's down to personal preference. I like Warnings because it just gets rid of the monster. And if you play like your Sams and you can warn the Xian and warn that annoying stuff, then you don't have to worry about it. You try and chain on a Xian or a Dolka or whatever it is, then it's just trouble. I'm running a couple of negate cards. Obviously, Solemn Series, Judgment. A lot of people do not like Judgment. I do like Judgment. It's just like that play that I don't like. You can't do. It is the Hand of God. Just stops it. And a lot of the time in this deck, Heavy Storm hurts because you might have Mirror Force set, you might have your land set, and you got Ravine obviously, and they Heavy Storm. You're like, oh crap, I've just lost my entire row. Judgment can stop it. As much as it's costly, it's worth it. And those big cards do hurt this deck, and like your TTs, your Dark Holes, and that sort of thing. So I run another Dark Bribe to help counter that. Look, if they're going to go Heavy Storm and go Dark Bribe, it's okay, I've got a Lance and a Mirror Force set, I'm fine. It just gives you the safety to set those cards. If you don't have that safety, and hell, maybe they MST it, you're stuffed. Like, so many people can OTK these days, it's stupid. So, well, Dark Bribe just says, no thanks, try again. And I don't mind if I give him that one card as draw power. Like, that's fine. I don't have to worry about Heavy Storm. Last off is a Starlight Road. Same argument I had with Dark Bribe, and is live like straight away so much, because you go Ravine, set Starlight Road live, and it's about getting Ravine. You go Starlight Road, Lance live, Starlight Road, MST live, because every deck runs Heavy Storm. Let's face it, everyone's like, oh, this card's super broken and we can use it. Let's put it in our decks. Starlight Road, epic. Open up first turn, you go to whatever you want. Maybe you go Colossal, you set Starlight Road, and they go to TT. Colossal with Lance, obviously, because that's cool. So you go, okay, well, I grab another Dux with my Ravine, and they go TT. You're like, well, you don't want to waste 2 Duxes, you want to go Starlight Road. So you got Colossal, Stardust, and you're like, oh, I might go Scrap Dragon. Like, you know, it just gives you so many more options, gives you protection. And that's what I said this deck is about. It's about, I am protecting my entire field, because you only have 3 Ducks. Extra deck. Catasta is my only 5-star, because he's the most annoying 5-star and you get to it so easy, you normal summon him. Really cool against, well, I don't really need to talk about like fairies and stuff like that. It's just like, logo Catastrophe, what you going to do? 6 stars, Gate Urge, because he dumps everything you want in the graveyard. Here's the key to the Attune play most of the time. He dumps his Zephyros, that's about it. If I do the Attune play, generally I'll go Gate Urge. I'll drop the Zephyros, and then I'll use Attune. Red Eyes pulls back Gate Urge, and I'll drop Atlas, and then I'll banish him from Red Eyes. You really generally don't need him after that, because you've got Phalanx in the graveyard, you've used your Zephyros, which you put in your graveyard, and you've got your Atlas in the graveyard. Your graveyard is set. You don't need him, because you got Stardust, which is protecting your field card. You generally got your field card at this point in the game. If you're going a Tomb combo, 9 times out of 10 you got your field card. So Gate Urge is like that. And look, that bad hands where you draw a bunch of Dragunities and you're like, cards cons, alright, Ducks, Gate Urge, you can get yourself another Ducks if that's the hand. Like I said, it's about being smart, playing into what you got. Triple Vajrayana. I use him a lot, well, obviously for 8 stars. But also, if you have set that graveyard up with the Dirge, or with your Ravine, cards, cons, whatever you do, if you have set it up properly and played into it, here's a 38 swing. Like, that's broken. Once again, you protect him for 1 turn, you open up a Tomb combo. Like, that's crazy. I had a duel where I just had a Tomb sitting on the field and ducked in hand. I was like, crap, what do? He's got 1 attachment. I didn't have any Red Eyes left in the deck. So I went Ducks to get Phalanx, a Tomb to get Atlas, Sync to Vajrayana to pop to swing for 38 and 26 because I'd overlay for Gaia, no attachments, obvious. And then next turn, like if they want to drop something that you don't like, well, you just like, well, Vajrayana, Phalanx, Sync, Scrap Dragon, pop. Like, or you're like, oh, you didn't do anything, I'll go Stardust. Like, it's just so versatile. And the second effect is stupid. Yeah, I'll summon a 3800 attack monster. Brionic, just at 1. Well, you can only have 1. Like, that was probably a bit silly. Anyway, just for those random duels where you're like, what the hell do I do? Brionic is just so helpful. I played like this Solidarity Dragon deck, and he used like his whole hand, but he had Red Eyes on the field, he had Stars on the field, 1 card in hand, and Solidarity. So I was like, what the hell? That is a strong Stardust. That's a 33 Stardust and a 36 Red Eyes. What do? I can't pop it. I can't beat over it. I can't do anything. So I just go Ravine, drop, Quassel, and set 2 back row. And then he's like, okay, I use Red Eyes effect, I will draw a card, Red Eyes effect, pull back, Pulsar, which is a beat stick, like, it probably would have been a cool deck if it pulled off. But Pulsar, summon 2-star tuner when Scrap Dragons, you want to get rid of the Quassel Fighter and OTK. So I was like, no thank you, I'll warn it, got rid of that. Next turn, because I haven't used any cards, Brionic, Stardust back to hand, Solidarity back to hand, attack, kill his Red Eyes, attack him directly with the Quassel, and attack directly with Brionic. Like, that's cool. And then he's just top decking after that. You know, I'll pop Solidarity and GG. So, look, if I didn't have Brionic in there, I'd be screwed. Yeah, Brionic is just cool as an option in the deck. Anyway, onto the 8s, double Stardust, because he's, like I said, the aim of the deck is protect the field. Stardust protect your back row protects Stardust. It all works hand in hand. Like I said, Dragoons don't have much plus. So if they have to MST, you negate, and then they Heavy Storm, and you Starlight Road, that's cool. But it is always going to be that +1. Every time you negate, you can just be like, sweet, I just got +1. And Dragoons need that plus. Quassel Fighter, because he's broken. I said that beatdown, it just gives you time, gives you another turn, if that's what you need. I said with Lance a bit earlier, Quassel with Lance, swing, deprison, nah, Lance, take 400, he comes back, swing again. Very cool. Hero, Sam, yeah. Scrap Dragon is a dragon for Red Eyes, which is another reason why Red Eyes at 2 is cool, because he pulls all your stuff back. A tomb gets Red Eyes, sink to Scrap Dragon, pop Scrap, pull him back, pop again, and it's just awesome. He just gets rid of all the annoying stuff that you don't want. Thought Roar, because he is also cool. Swear Compulse is popping up more. And look, I verse Rabbits, and I'll go Thought Roar first turn, because they go Deepers, they go Forbidden Lance, they go Chain, and you're just like, well, that's annoying, but I pay 1,000 life points. I kill your monster, and I'll gain it back. So, like, he's just really cool. And look, I do run the Solomon series, so he can get your life points back, if that's what you need. Just play into it. Last is Red Dragon Archfiend. Don't see much in Dragoon decks or deck profiles, but I think it's really cool. Why? Because Ducks can essentially normal summon a 3000 beat stick. So it just gives you that beatdown capability if you don't want to waste that Vajrayana. Second reason, there'll be duels where I'll swing the Stardust and I'll hit a Marshmallow. I'll go, that's a pain in the butt. 1,000 life points. Second turn, they set another card. I mean, you can go to Scrap Dragon, but at the end of the day, they've taken the 1,000 life points, they've saved themselves for 2 turns, and Scrap Dragon pops one of your cards to kill theirs. So it's just like minus to the shit. Like, that's bad. You swing with Red Dragon Archfiend, hit the Marshmallow, kill the other monsters, and most of the time, it's against like decks that have flip effects. Like, so you hit the Marshmallow and take out all those flip effect monsters, you don't have to worry about it. And swing for 2/5. Like, it opens up OTKs just as much as it's just generally really cool. So, Red Dragon Archfiend, get on train. Anyway, last 3 are Exceeds, and can you guess what they are? Yes, it is a tomb, because he can find in your deck that Atlas if that's what you need, or the Red Eyes to go pop pop or pull back and sink, and yep. Bouncer, once again, Red Eyes can get to him really easily. There's 5 cards, and Foolish, 6 cards in the deck that just make you open that Attune, and or Bouncer if you're versing like Insectors or whatever, and obviously Gaia. I do also like to his wind, and that's the difference between these guys. Light wind. I do have goes and match that I do like to side. It's because there's like goes and match can stuff up some decks or at least slow them down, which gives me time. But you can still pull off that Attune combo, pull out what you need, and then overlay with Gaia with the safety that goes and match. So Gaia like helps the deck in that situation. Attune, you only got 2 attachments. I generally try and protect him because that's what the deck is. You protect the cards on the field, so I can go the double, and it just really works really well together. So anyway, that is the deck. Not going to go through the side deck because this has gone for like 26 minutes already. But look, you've got to be smart with the way you play it. But if you play this like smart and you protect those 3, it's just really consistent. So if you want to look up my profile on Dueling Network, feel free. Username is Tuck, so Tuck. I think at the moment I'm sitting around top 1800, I think, somewhere around there, and win losses about 2.4, 2.5. So, and that's with this deck or variations of this deck. So I played a lot of duels with it, and like those figures are just going to tell you this deck is consistent and it is versatile if you're smart. So look, let me know what you think, send me a few comments, and yeah, I'd like to hear some feedback. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.